So I just watched 10 Cloverfield Lane and it was pretty good. Most of the problems I had with this movie is basically nitpicking, and there were some things that I found pretty generic, convenient, or flat out kind of unrealistic. I can accept this movie for what it is, and I didn't think it was overall that bad. Now let's take a look at this movie. How was the acting in the movie? It was really decent. Mary Elizabeth Winstead as Michelle was deliverable, but her acting in the beginning was a little off, but as the movie went on, she did better. We also have John Goodman as Howard in the movie, and he was pretty great. He managed to pull off being a creep and a suspicious person and was able to come out as a legitimately intimidating person. We also have John Gallagher Jr. as Emmett, who also did very well. His role didn't really have the opportunities to expand on his acting talent as much as the other two, but overall, they all did well. There were some other actors in the movie, but their roles were so minor that it's not really worth mentioning. Now, the premise of this movie is pretty straightforward. Michelle was in the middle of leaving her boyfriend until she gets into a crash. She wakes up in a bunker, trapped with two other guys. The one who seems to be in charge, Howard, tells her that he saved her and that she's better off down in the bunker than up on the surface. So the whole movie is a claustrophobic drama, and Michelle is confused whether she should actually trust him or try to escape. The premise is an interesting concept. Most of the recent movies we've been getting that we really don't care about are mostly action movies, and it's so refreshing to see a movie that is driven by the story instead of mindless action. Let's talk about the characters now. As I said before, John Goodman does a great job when it comes to portraying a paranoid but intimidating person. That is basically his whole character, so there's not much to be said about this character. Emmett was basically the generic doofus that you see in a lot of movies. But I feel as though that there were moments that let him actually expand his character and come off as an actual person instead of just a random generic character that only exists to further plot elements. Then we have Michelle, who also mostly is a generic main character that is supposed to be relatable, but like Emmett, there were enough moments that allowed her to feel more like an actual person than just a generic main character. So what's good about this movie? This movie, as stated before, only has problems that can be mostly nitpicking. The acting was serviceable and overall believable. The movie did a great job in trying to make you feel as an audience member unsure to whether or not trust Howard. The dialogue felt fluid and not forced, and the movie was overall solid. Though when there's plenty of good with the movie, there are some things that can be seen as bad. For example, the cinematography. Now when I say this, I don't mean that the camera work was bad. The movie mostly had standard shots, but there were things that the movie could have done that would have made the movie better. This movie has a lot of wide shots, and the reasons why that shouldn't be done in a movie like this is because the movie is supposed to feel claustrophobic, like you're trapped in a small place. However, since the movie had wide shots, it shows open spaces like there is plenty of room to move around. I'm not saying this is a flaw because it's how I personally want it to be this way. It would have been a better way of conveying the feeling of being claustrophobic had the movie had shots that were close and visually claustrophobic. There were also parts of this movie where it felt convenient that it took me out of the movie for a second. But these were so minor that it didn't bring the movie down. As I said before, all the problems I had with this movie is mostly nitpicking, so I won't get into it. Mostly because I feel like it's better to go into this movie with an open mind and a lack of knowledge of what's happening in the movie. I say the less you know about it, the better. So overall, this movie was very solid. The movie had great moments and nothing really came off as dumb or anything that bad. If you have a chance at watching the movie, I recommend you do. I will definitely see this movie again someday, and as for the rating, I'm leaving this movie with a 7 out of 10. So, thanks for watching my video. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked what I had to say about the movie or agree, then feel free to leave a like. If you hate this video, then go ahead and give it a dislike. If you like this video and my other content, then feel free to subscribe. If you have your own thoughts about this movie, go ahead and leave them in the comments. I'm interested in hearing what other people have to say about this movie. So thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.